Hello and welcome back to Blooms and Banter, a social media show about floral design and event planning through the eyes of the professionals that know this industry best. Hello, my name is Francesca Scalisi, and this is my co-host and founder of Marquis Florals, event design Kim Lovett. And we're an event decor company out of New Jersey where we celebrate weddings and celebrations in a huge way. So first and foremost, we just wanted to introduce ourselves again. If you are new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. We are so excited to start new episodes of Blooms and Banter, and we can't wait to share what we have in store for you. Kim, we're going to start by talking about the types of events that we talk about on this show typically.
So what we're really talking about is weddings, bar mitzvahs, social events, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, birthdays, anniversaries. We do corporate, but we're going to focus this show more on social events and trying to give you a lot of information about from the beginning to the end of planning an event.
Yep. We're also going to talk about the types of appointments that you can make when you are going to see a vendor. There are now the ability to do this in many different ways. You can do this from your living room, from your bed, from your job, if you are at lunch, or even coming in person. So now we have the ability to speak virtually, which is an incredible way to meet each other and build a relationship. We get to share screens and show photos, and it's a very interactive very similar experience to being in person, although we love to see your faces. So
talk about the Zoom a little bit more, Fran, and how that appointment goes.
So on Zoom, the thing that I love about Zoom is you can blow up a picture on a screen and really take that bride through a journey of where that day starts and what that looks like. And it's most helpful for a client that doesn't know what they want, doesn't know the type of design that they're looking for, might not know even that there's different shapes and styles of flowers and what those flowers look like. So this gives us the ability to really educate as well as share and try to help a client figure out what it is that they really want to.
And I think that the great thing about the Zoom appointment is that it's just like being in front of me.
It really is.
Or in front of Fran, or in front of the vendor that you're dealing with. I was very skeptical, I'm doing this a long time. So when we first got into this, I was very skeptical about the Zoom appointment, but darn, it is a great tool. And if you can't get to the vendor that you want to go to because they are too far or whatever, don't hesitate about doing the Zoom because it really is very effective.
Yeah. And, it's a great way to connect with clients that are out of state, which we deal with on a weekly basis. And even someone that is, working in the city or can't get here because of rush hour traffic. So it really allows us to connect on another level aside from just being in person.
For sure.
So,
okay. So now it's my turn.
It's your
turn. All right. So I think I want to talk about how you make an appointment. That may sound kind of silly, but there's steps and procedures that will save you some time and energy and helps the vendors with getting that together. So when you contact a vendor, whether it be by phone, email, or I don't know, texting. I guess some people do that. Every vendor has a different way of getting, connected. I think that you should know your schedule before you contact them. Let them know when you're available so that they can best then respond to you in the right way. So do you need a daytime appointment? Do you need a nighttime appointment? Most vendors in this business do night times because we know that our clients are working during the day. I know here we do Tuesday and Thursday nights. And then weekends, some vendors can do a weekend. It just depends on the time of the year, and like a catering vendor can always do a Saturday because they're there all the time. They have salespeople, working. But when you're dealing with small business like myself or a photographer or the DJ, Saturdays are maybe kind of hard because we're doing events and we can't be here in the office to be able to talk to you. So we do have the evenings. lunch hour on the Zoom.
Yep.
It completely works. So when you go to that, after you get your time and all that scheduled, when you go to talk to the vendor, have your information for them ready. How many guests that you think will be attending the wedding? And if you don't know, if you know what you're inviting, that's one thing, minus 18%.
Yep.
And that's basically, that's a whole nother show, but 18%. And then that's kind of the number that you should be anticipating. Know the number of guests, know the start time of the party, because then the vendor needs to know, is it an afternoon job or is it a nighttime job? So they can, know the schedule and know what time the party ends, because that's
very important.
Very important.
For scheduling.
Very important for scheduling. Then when you get to see that the vendor and you give them all that information, I think it's really important to know, to give the vendor your expectations of what you want your party to look like, how you want it to flow. If you don't know these things, then ask the vendor the questions, of how maybe they work and what their, maybe your expectations, and then ask them how they run their day and how the party will run for them and their procedure of what's going to happen that day. Because you have to know all those things. Tell them the type of vibe that you want. If you want like more of a low key kind of party with a lot of slow kind of music, you don't want too much, crazy disco. You don't want what do you call it? Rap, all that kind of stuff. And then for I know, I sound like an old lady. So then and then the photographer, you want to know if you want those pictures that are just the stock pictures of the family all together, or do you want pictures that are more relaxed and, not posed. So, I think that you have to kind of know every vendor that you're going to, know the things that you want or don't want, because they want to know that, of what you want and don't want at your party. And then it gives them a very good idea of how to approach and what to sell you and what to suggest to you. It's super important. And another thing you have to know is your budget.
At least an idea. Something.
An idea. I mean, I think that budgets today are, you can, hire somebody that is going to do something for you at, one price point, and then you're going to see and talk to florists and photographers and DJs that are completely on the opposite end. You know what I mean? So before you even make that appointment, know where you're going. There's some good tools for that. I mean, when we get inquiries from the Wedding Wire, the Nod, or there's a little thing there that checks off what your budget is, so we can try to understand. And I think that it's important when you meet with your the person at the vendor. I think you have to connect with them. I think you have to understand, they have to understand you, and you have to understand them, and make sure that they're listening to you. This is very important. A lot of people want to you go to the vendors, and sometimes you get into this thing where they're telling you what they're going to do, and they're going to tell you want it, even if you don't want it. But know what you want, and then this way, and take suggestions from them, because listen, we know a lot of stuff that you don't know. But I think that it's connecting with that vendor and having something in common with them that is going to put you on the same level and enjoy them. And it should be a pleasurable experience. You should have fun at these appointments.
Absolutely.
You should enjoy it. It's just not about the day. It's about the ride, right? And so make these appointments fun. I mean, I know sometimes the groom doesn't want to go to them, and he's being dragged. Feed him before he goes. Make him involved, and make it like a fun kind of an event. So I think that all of those things happen, and I think that's the first steps of making an appointment.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
There's also a lot of different ways that you can find vendors as well. So, for example, there's the Knot, there is Wedding Wire, which we talked about. There's also an incredible website called Party Slate, which is a little more up and coming for the East Coast, but
we love it.
We love it. The different ideas that they have on there, and the articles, and the ability for us to have our portfolios on there, and we have a huge number of different events that we've done and are displayed on the site that just give a really good overview of what a whole
Event looks like.
event looks like.
And even the photographers, you can see all of their
Yep.
work on that. And you could go to each photographer's individual website, obviously, and get that.
Mhm.
But it's about ideas.
Mhm.
And this party
Lots of
slate
ideas.
is just absolutely
Great.
amazing. We can't say enough about it. I mean, listen, we love the knot,
Mhm.
right? We love the wedding wire.
Mhm.
But this is something that I think goes beyond
Mhm.
in a different way than what they do.
Right.
And it's about, it's visual, very, very visual. And it's more pinpointed than Pinterest. It's a little bit different than
Yes.
Pinterest.
Yes.
So
Right.
new platform. I would try
Right,
it.
right, definitely. There's also a great, incredible number of groups on Facebook. For example, we are in New Jersey. There's a New Jersey bride group that we don't particularly go on, but we hear from clients all the time how helpful it is, the recommendations on there, and it's just real people talking about real things from New Jersey that are all experiencing the same thing. So that's a great place to go to get just real authentic.
I'm laughing. You could go there and get some laughs too.
Oh
Because of the crazy stuff that's
yeah,
on there.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. There's some fun stuff.
Really fun stuff.
We hear from the brides,
Yep.
like the drama
Yep,
that goes
yep,
on.
Yep.
And it's kind of entertaining.
Yep. So it's great. You have the Facebook groups. There's also recommended vendors at each venue that you will see. So there is, we can go into this on another show in more depth, but there's going to be recommended vendors everywhere that you go to tour. And then there's also word of mouth, of course, and wedding expos, which takes me to our next and final little tidbit for the day. We have some upcoming expo shows that we
Yes, we
wanted
do.
to tell you guys about. So on February 8th, which is our next one, at the Grand Marquis in Old Bridge, New Jersey, we have a bridal show that we're going to be presenting at. So you can go visit us there. Now, this is called Blooms and Banter, but we are first and foremost Marquis Florals. And that's where our experience comes from, so that we can talk about all these blooms and banter about them. So we have Grand Marquis on February 8th. On February 9th, for those families that are planning a mitzvah, there is a Super Bowl Sunday show every year at Bnai Tikvah in North Brunswick, New Jersey. And that's an incredible show. Our friends there at Classical Catering does a great job, and the DJs, Explosive does it, and they're incredible. Amazing. And so a great show. We will be there as well.
And so at these shows, we display our work.
Yes.
Which is super good. You get to see it,
a lot of different themes and tables, and talk to us. So we'll be there. Come see us. And Addison Park on February 19th, we're going to be doing a bridal show there as well, which is in Hazlitt, New Jersey. So please comment and message us with any questions that you have, but we'll be going here live on a regular basis again, talking about all these helpful topics for brides and other families that are planning milestone events that need some help.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for coming by.
Great talking to you again and getting back to our weekly show.
Yep. Blooms and Banter.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.